What is up, guys? We're back for part two. If you want to check out part one, go over to Underdog Research channel. Hey guys, you want to just do just like another quick introduction for people who might be watching this for the first time?
All right. I guess I'll start if that's okay with you guys. I'm Underdog Researcher. I have the Underdog Research channel, and I have the pleasure and privilege to be amongst greatness today with Black Rue Investing, Shook Focus Digital, Indigo Saint, the Third Eye. Thank you, folks, and thank you for inviting me to your platform, Black Rue.
For sure.
All right, folks. I am Shooks from Shook Focus Digital, hanging out with these amazing people today, discussing Swift Coin. I'll be presenting some of the cultural aspects of this project. And it's gonna be great.
Yo, what is up? It's Indigo Sane from the Third Eye. And you're around and you're amongst great company because it's Underdog Research, it's Shik's Focus, and it's your guy, it's the guy himself, Black Rue. So excited to be here. I know you're excited to be here too. So yeah, welcome. And yeah, make sure you subscribe to everyone's channel. And yeah, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, definitely go subscribe to everyone's channel. Shook Focus, Underdog Research channel, and the Third Eye with Indigo Saint. And guys, if you love that intro music, that is Indigo Saint's work there, right? So we got him in the house today. Okay, so we'll pick up right where we left off. I want to touch some more on that Metapath deal with Swift. But if we can first, I would like Underdog Research to read a definition for Metapath.
All right. Let me pull it up for y'all. For y'all scientific people and you programmers, we're going to talk about Metapath actually had a meaning. So as I was conducting research into the project Metapath, it came to apparent that it actually had a meaning. So I'm going to do a quick search in real time, folks. I ask you to follow along with me if you have your computers or tablet. Just simply put in Metapath, two different words, and the definition. And this is what it says for the definition of Metapath. And it says Metapath is a sequence of relations between object types, which defines a new composite relation between its starting type and ending type. Now, I sound like a lot of hubo jobo, but Black Rue, what does that mean?
So for me, that means like, okay, you almost have n number of ending types and n numbers of starting the types. So for me, that really means like, okay, they really plan on tokenizing everything, right? And you could tokenize everything and send it all through Swift. Okay, that's so huge, guys. And remember, we made the connection with Metapath, and we're just bring it up here and go through some of the slides here. Okay, so remember we made the connection to to Swift and Tim Draper, and that Tim Draper is a initial investor in Casper. Okay. Remember, Casper had a project called IPWE that they were teaming up with, in which they were going to tokenize IP, okay? And they could just send around IP as a tokenized asset. So understand, all of these companies are kind of related, and understand that Larry Fink, who's also, BlackRock CEO, he's always been talking about tokenization and tokenization, right? It's my understanding, if we do talk about futures, to just digress just a little bit, the way that oil futures contracts work, so that you don't actually have to go get a carton of oil and like send it to somebody. If you just kind of like take care of the contracts first, no oil never ever has to be sent. So essentially, it would be doing the same thing with everything. So we're now tokenizing, say, real estate, right? And sending that and getting a piece of real estate and doing DeFi, like loans and staking on real estate, or your Tesla, or gold, or any valuable asset that you can think of, right? Like we're making NFT that also that type of valuable asset, digital art, right? But then again, like we said, you can put that to real world assets like real estate and so on, right? So Metapath now opens up the way for any type of asset to be sent over any of these networks. So that definition basically tells us that that's the goal. That like they literally embedded it into the definition, right? And if that doesn't make you guys excited, I don't know what is. I really don't know what is. Like you can literally tokenize any asset, send it, do loans on it, do derivatives on it, what have you, right? Oh man, that's simply very powerful. Anyone want to add to that while we kind of view these slides here?
No, I just want to say that adds another avenue of approach that I'm going to take when I go back to look at this, because for those who had the opportunity to watch SwiftCoin 2, we bumped into a clip from a business solutions company that was advertising that they could use blockchain to solve real estate congestion issues, right? Like it's it is really, really powerful when you think about it.
Yeah, and think about XDC, one of the networks which Swift works with. They want to revolutionize trade finance. So now you're also putting that on an NFT and shipping that through all of these networks. And Underdog, you look like you wanted to say something.
No, just looking at this. I'm gonna share the screen with you real quick, if that's okay.
Yep.
Let me pull this up here. If that comes through, a Black Roo on your side.
Yep.
So when looking up Metapaths, this is the medical piece. So again, I want you to understand that they're using these words have symbolism, but this is direct meaning. So just reading this, I'm gonna try to increase it a little bit so you guys can see this a little bit better. It says Metapath-based network similarity search, and that makes sense. Large-scale heterogeneous biomedical knowledge graphs use graph structures to represent and study multi-type relational information in biological systems. Network relationships can be quantified by similarity search methods. However, such methods must consider the diversity of node types contained within. Now, I'm going to jump down where it says metapaths are defined as sequences of node types which define a walk from the origin node to the destination node and are widely used in biomedical network analysis. Now, the reason that's important is if we go back, and I'm going to take this off the screen share, if I can figure out that part. There we go. If we go back to the slides of Black Roo, if you don't mind, sure. And we bring up those 40 different types of cryptocurrencies. Okay, and we can actually, go right there. So they're using this in biology and medical to talk about how many different systems you're working through to get to the origin. So I want you to imagine, folks, if you have a heart, well, your heart doesn't exist by itself. You have veins, you got valves, and there's a system we call our whole system, circulatory system. And when in medical, as they're trying to go through those systems, they can't just work on the heart. They got to find what connects to it. So Metapath, just like the metaverse, and we think about, or the multiverse, is stating that the technology uses multiple systems, but you end up at one destination. Now, that is the money piece. I've seen a lot of comments, Black Roo and Shook Focus and Third Eye. I've seen some comments like, well, what's the utility of SwiftCoin? What's the utility of Metapath? So that is the utility. The utility is the technology brings you from multiple destinations. Think about multiple cities, multiple countries, whatever you want to think to one destination. Now, I'm a Star Trek person. I'm a little bit older, folks. They used to teleport, and I used to want to teleport. So I used to beam me up, Scotty, and I want to teleport. So if you have a wallet, it doesn't matter where you start if you have something that works universally in between. that is where you're at. And that's the value, folks. Every single time someone uses this network, every single time, no matter what network they use, they charge them a fee. And we get to get a piece of that fee. You don't even have to like the project. It don't need to be fancy. It don't need to be exciting. I don't care. I will buy $1,000 worth of hinges on a door that costs $50,000 all day, because you can't put up that door without the hinge. That's the hinge. So if they have the NFTs down, folks, and they got the cryptos down, and they're the first movers, they didn't really need to keep that patent. They're making relationships. That's why they're always, and ask Shook Focus, he sees it. They're in people's DMs all the time. If you look at Shook Focus' video, he did a video, guys, you got to watch it. He says, hey, is SwiftCoin a scam or not? That was his first video. He said, because I see them added to projects I don't think are on win, projects that I think would be good. This is why they don't care. They don't actually care if the other projects are win or lose. They're going to make money off of it regardless, because you're going to put your money on their system. So you got to look at this Metapath. It's multiple cryptocurrency platforms and blockchain technologies, 850 blockchains. That's outdated. It's now 50. And they're taking little drops of money. So if billions of dollars is released after the crypto halving, Bitcoin halving, can you imagine that? Billions of dollars. They're just setting up the groundwork, and they're trying to keep it as cheap as possible. That's why they're not marketing Black Roo, because these investors, they buy low and sell high too. So of course, why would they tell us retail investors about Metapath to drive up the price? That doesn't even make sense. That's why you see these companies. What's that name of the company? MicroStrategy, right?
Yes.
They changed their whole portfolio, and they said, we don't care. We love it when crypto crashes. We buy more. So Metapath, for the last 3 years, they've been quiet. They got an undisclosed Black Roo. They got an undisclosed investment of up to $2 million, and they stay quiet. I wouldn't market either. I want to get as many connections before the price goes up. That's all I want to say.
That's a great point. Definitely check out the video I did on Tim Draper, Crypto's Quiet King. You will realize they're also connected to so many exchanges. So now picture those exchanges as being literally exchanges, but more like banks of all types of different assets, right? Like Draper, of course, we told you, initial investor in Coinbase. He also is an investor in Gemini. There are so many different exchanges across multiple countries that he owns a piece of. So now bring all of that into NFTs, different assets, different assets, different NFTs, different cryptos. From all of those exchanges, you could send any object back to Metapath, any object to anywhere. Okay. And that really the single destination is like the billionaire's pockets, right? But we're gonna own SwiftCoin, so we're gonna get a piece of that, right? But essentially, the central destination is their pocket, right? But it's amazing to think that we're on the ground level of that, and you will have to really truly check out all the channels and all the research that's been done to truly understand the depth and the level and the robustness of all that is going on right here. Does anyone else want to add?
Yeah. I think just to add on to what you and Underdog and Shooks just said, about tokenization, understanding like the importance of that, right? Because essentially when you do talk of NFTs, you can't talk of NFTs without ownership, right? So someone has to own an NFT. And if we're going to talk NFTs and tokenization, and we're also going to mention DeFi, which is decentralized finance, right? At the end of the day, what you are creating is some sort of a banking system in which there are people who have liquidity, quote unquote money, and people who have things that they would like to get that, money for, or using as backing, right? So however it is that you're going to get a loan, you're going to want to have an asset that you can say, oh, okay, cool. Look, I would like to have so much of this crypto as an example. And I'm going to use this NFT. I'm going to use my assets, my real world assets, right? So essentially, what these people are doing, what Swift is doing, is they're creating a network that's actually bringing owners of assets into one space. It's like, yeah, absolutely. Like there's different cryptos, and there's going to be different NFTs on Metapath, but ultimately, essentially, they're going to have this network of all sorts of people, as Underdog said, from all over the world who own different types of assets onto one network, so that's going to be really powerful, and that's something I'm looking forward to seeing.
And I just want to reiterate, guys, from Underdog's research, look at the amount of different billionaires and millionaires that are involved in this different project. Okay. We got Bolan and Christina Chen, right?
That's correct.
They're both basically running Swift and Metapath. Okay. We got Tim Draper. I was very clear on who he is and what his reach is. And when you look into his father, you really see that there's even more reach there, because his father's, they say he started Silicon Valley before it was Silicon Valley. And Mr. John Shen, right? Yep. Huge in Irvine. Definitely have to check out Underdog's Crypto's video, where he went very deep on this man and his connections, and how that applies to how Swift is integral for not only Irvine, but just AI. There's just too much to cover there. Next one. Can you guys? I forget.
Yeah, Yida Gao. That's Yida Gao or Shima Capital. That's Alan. No problem. Yida Gao over Shima Capital. That's who made the $500,000 to $2 million investment in Metapath. They are all about Web3 and identity, and that's them. And you mind if I move forward? There we go. Now, right there. Now, just slipped my mind. Alan Beckman. Now he's go ahead.
Bill Ackman.
Yes, thank you, Bill Ackman. Hedge fund billionaire, one of the richest hedge fund billionaires in the world, invested in Metapath and Swiftcoin through direct. Now, this guy, look, I don't put people on. This guy's dangerously popular. This man makes billions when the market crashes. When I saw his name on Metapath, I was like, crash, crypto market, crash. He knows where to put his money. This man makes billions in the 2008 stock market and investment crashes. And he's one of the most savviest billionaires in the game of knowing how the market moves. So for him to know to put his money into this thing, it's big. There's one person I got to talk about, Black Rudy, if you don't mind. If you don't, I'll push it forward just a little bit. Yep. This one right here, guys, I'm telling you, I'm gonna do a video about him and Alan Drakeman. Johannes Rotis of Dragonfly. Let me tell you why you need to know about this man right here. He's funny. He's from South Africa. He calls himself the other South African billionaire like Elon Musk. You can find him on payment processes podcast. He only talks about payments. Now, let me tell you why that's important. You can't even make this stuff up. I'm going to share my screen, and you heard it here first on the Black Roo Investing channel. This happened a day ago. Let's see if I can show you this. Dragonfly and Binance fueled Ethereum's journey to a $500 million market cap yesterday. Dragonfly, the same billionaire who invested, you want to know why he works with big banks of a 1 billion and up. Okay, here's the connection. Funded, again, remember he funded Metapath, funded by giants like Dragonfly Capital and Binance Lab. This token, a strategy was to move in an airdrop. That's exactly what people have been talking about. It's why the Swift coin, people don't talk about it. They keep doing all these airdrops. And what happened? The holders highlights the commitment to bolstering the liquidity and the space, just like we've been telling you, Black Roo, everybody keeps talking about the liquidity. When it went live, this is what happened. The market capitalization of 547.5 million. So almost a $500 million of the synthetic Ethereum. Now, people was wondering about the connection with Alan Howard and these billionaires. Let me bring them up again. If you don't mind switching back to the billionaires, to Alan Howard. Alan Howard and Bolan and Dragonfly invested in Puffer Finance, which is an Ethereum-based staking option for liquidity, and it had over, I showed y'all, had over $1 trillion in TVL, total value locked. It hasn't been released yet. So what do you think these billionaires are doing with this insignificant Metapath? No one cares about gaming. Shook Focus know what's going on. They are trying to get the tokens and the market share of both. So when they release all this equity, as Web3 starts developing, everybody's talking about Web3, then all that liquidity goes back in their pockets. They're not silly. They can make money when the market's bad and when the market's good. So, hey, you heard it here first, folks. Dragonfly Finance invested into a project. Liquidity opened yesterday. They made $500 million, bringing the market cap from $0 to $547 million, $500 million in a day. That's what we're talking about. If this thing happens with Metapath or Swift at any point, if it just moves to 2 cents, forget that. Let's just say it. Okay, I don't ever make price predictions, but let's just say it. Let's just be honest. If you got 1 million tokens of this thing, it costs you about $6,000 to $7,000. I'm not saying you need to buy that much. I'm just simple math. Mathematician over there, third eye. You know, you can tell me I'm lying. If this thing goes off and it goes to 10 cents, and you have 1 million of these tokens, mathematician, third eye, what would that be? We're putting you on the spot. I'm gonna be quiet.
100 grand. It'll be 100 grand right there.
You'll make 100 grand for this thing to move up. Is that right? A 10 or 11x? Is that what I'm talking about?
That'd be like a 20x from here. So
20x from here.
Yeah, because we're at 0.6. We're almost at like a half a cent. So it'd be like a 20x.
And just so you know, and I just want to say this thing, I'm gonna be quiet because I don't want to take up too much time. A few of us have done this multiple times. And you know, most of the people only knew me because I came online and started talking about what I've been doing in private for years with Tailcoin. That's how most people learned about me. But when I bought into Tailcoin, it had one less zero and it went all the way up to 20 something cents. And that's when I met Black Rule Investing. You do the math. I don't need to do the math, but I had over 100 million of them at the time. So all I'm saying is that, you know, you have to think about these things. That's one example. Bitcoin's done it. These projects will do this thing. We don't tell you when to buy, sell, and trade. We are not traders. We're not telling you how to do any investment. We're providing you research. You have to speculate and put it together. All right. That's all I got to say, Black Rue.
All right. Awesome. So I think we've left some more to be said because I know I have a lot more to say. So we're going to move over to Shook Focus's channel. All right. Wow. I think, wow. So hopefully I'll see you guys over there. And see you guys over there. We're out. Peace.